Hello, this is the Blimey Cow YouTuber. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be watching Messy Mondays, I Pledge Blind Allegiance. I'll be commentating on it and then reading some of the comments underneath. So without any further ado, let's just get right into this.
Oh, hey guys, I'm just an average American freaking out about politics! Time for me to post some fears and insecurities online. You have to make your voice heard on election day, but only if you're voting for my candidate. Otherwise, stay home! Hashtag rock the vote under some conditions. Send.
I don't know, it's kind of based. Like... I mean... That is what people are saying when they say get out there and vote. They're trying to what's the word? Wake up their own base and be like, hey, we need to make our voice heard. They're not saying that to everyone, and nor should they be. It would make no sense to say, hey, people that I disagree with and whose policies I do not want implemented, come out and make sure your policies are implemented. Like, that's counterproductive. It makes no sense.
You know, much is made about national pride, but I think that we hype it up so much that we think of America as like some kind of God, and we pledge allegiance to it like it's a living thing. I guess what I'm trying to work out is that in most other contexts, being prideful is considered bad. And you know, Christians are pretty notorious for this kind of thinking. Even...
Okay. So. Yes, being prideful is considered bad typically. But you're also typically talking about a very different kind of pride. C.S. Lewis talks about this in Mere Christianity. And essentially, what we're talking about is a warm-hearted admiration of something. And you can't really say that's a bad thing.
though you'd think that the people that warn against idolatry would be pretty cautious about pledging allegiance to things other than God. And they place a lot of faith in man, especially during election time. This candidate is our only hope to save the country. He is our last chance!
Let me get this straight. You're a Christian, and you're telling me that a political candidate is the only hope to save the country.
Yes, and it is my Christian duty to support him.
Aren't you forgetting someone?
No.
Like someone up there?
Ronald Reagan?
Ronald Reagan. That's great. Alright, look. Is it a bad thing to put too much hope in one politician or another? No, of course not. Wait, what am I saying? Is it a bad thing to put too much faith in a candidate? Yeah, then yeah, it is a bad thing. But it's also a bad thing to not like alright. There's a point where that does make a difference. Like, there was a point in Israel's history where there was one of the kings that was like the last king, that after that there was no going back. They were going to go to captivity. And it would be unwise not to care simply because, oh, you're putting too much faith on that one king. It's like, no, like, you have to... I guess I guess there's a lot of fear mongering, I guess, around politics. Like, oh, this is the last chance for our nation. It's like, no, I guess what I'm gonna say is you have to treat every election. You should treat every election like it's your last chance to get it right. Like, treat every election as if everything depended on it. You know? I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Complete faith in fallible, depraved man. No wonder the country is in shambles. Oh, but don't you just love how pretty much every single person who has ever run for president has been a devout believer in God? Every single one of them. What are the chances of that? Do you ever think that maybe we're just getting played?
I mean, I don't know how much how much faith I would put in that word devout. I think, like, I mean, for one thing, I don't think even a lot of them claim to be devout. And certainly most of them I wouldn't say are devout by their works. But what was it? Oh yeah, that were being played. Yeah, there's a yeah, I think a lot of politicians are just claiming to be Christian because it's convenient for them to claim to be Christian. And you see less of that happening nowadays as I guess part of that is starting to shift, where it's not always advantageous to claim to be Christian. And again, I'm not going to say that's a good thing either. I think we're probably better off with our politicians at least claiming to be Christian than just outright that. I think it's a good thing that a politician claiming to be Christian is advantageous to them.
And welcome back to Debate 2012, or any year really. Let's talk about the economy. Bill False, what would you do to fix the economy?
Well, Miranda, I'll tell you. I was raised in a small town, and God, Jesus, Bible, greatest, best country, God bless America.
William Choice, your response?
Well, Miranda, I can sum up my response in 10 simple words. God, Jesus, Bible, greatest, best country, God bless America, and faith.
Wow, the crowd really responded to that answer.
Do you really think we would find out if one of them actually didn't believe in God? But it's fine. People buy into whatever sounds the nicest, regardless of whether or not it's true. You call them political parties. I like to call it Stockholm Syndrome.
I mean, yeah, look. I mean, I think recently, I'm talking last 5 years or so, there's been a bit of an awakening to the idea that, like, hey, the government's basically run by the deep state and the administrative offices, which aren't elected positions and which are typically filled by strong liberal and leftist people that kind of make the same decisions regardless of which party wins the elections. And yeah, I could see you saying our devotion to a given political party is like Stockholm Syndrome. It's just us continuing to vote for the same people that have abused our trust in the past or whatever. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. information. I mean, if you believe that, you're not going to change it by complaining about it. It takes action to get the changes you want.
I guess I just don't understand the Christians that get so fearful during election time. As if life hangs in the balance. It's like they think that the country is the only thing protecting them from persecution or death or something. If you
Guns.
need to pledge allegiance to a nation for your safety and security, your God isn't big enough. Because when Jesus Christ was on earth, I'm pretty sure he didn't talk like this. Love your enemies and pray for the— You know what? I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. This guy, Caesar, he is a tyrant. I have looked at his budget for the upcoming fiscal year, and he will raise your taxes, I promise you. Alright, well that's about all I had to say, so I'm getting a major craving for some fried MSG. Who wants me to manifest some Chick-fil-A? No way! He was too busy talking about how people could truly change their country. Things like loving one another and turning the other cheek. That's how you make a country great. That is something that you can be proud of. No need to be terrified every 4 years for the nation's future. Just follow him, and the rest are details. Because if Christ is who you say he is, you have nothing to worry about. If he's your savior, then pledge allegiance to him. But if a country or a politician or a government is your savior, you're doing it wrong.
Alright. So, Jesus did not come to lead a political movement. True. On the other hand, Jesus didn't come to lead a political movement. The disciples believed that Jesus was going to overthrow the Roman government. That was their expectation. And they were shattered at the realization that that wasn't going to happen. Because they were, I guess, misguided. They were looking towards something specific that wasn't what was going to happen. But that's going to happen. That's what the second coming's about. So I don't know. Like, if you're not into politics, fine, don't be into politics. But I think you'd be in the wrong to tell people who are into politics that they shouldn't be into politics.
I was raised in a small town. Dang.
Let's talk about the economy. Bill Falls. I always want to say Bill Choice.
Blessed are the poor, for they will be taken care of by the government, so that you don't have to feel guilty about not helping them.
Alright. I'm gonna go and look at some of the comments now. Alright, so I've gone ahead and picked out a few comments, so let's just get through them right now. At Verizon DSL100 says, I was forced to pledge allegiance in school after being fed a delicious blueberry muffin and a carton of apple juice. I never felt so violated before. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you traumatized by that? Would you like to talk to someone? Are you thinking about hurting yourself or others? At QS Cali says, wow, this is not something I commonly hear. If you need to pledge allegiance to a nation for your safety and security, your God isn't big enough. I don't think many people pledge allegiance to the nation for safety and security. I think we pledge allegiance out of loyalty and honor and respect for our fellow citizens. Right on, this is one of the main reasons I never participate in the Pledge of Allegiance. My dad wrote an alternate Pledge of Allegiance that I say instead. I pledge allegiance to the Lord, maker of heaven and earth, and to the kingdom which he has established with many peoples under God, Jesus, Bible, and faith. God bless America. And Riki and Sarah says, I love Kelly's facial expressions in the opening sequence. She looks at Josh lovingly, takes a quick glance at Jordan, and then stares disgustingly at Big Head Kid. This is what I'm saying. I keep bringing up the intro sequence. I love that. Everybody loved that. Everybody loved the old intro sequence. Why did they stop? Blimey Cow. I know you don't. I don't know if you guys still watch this, but that intro was amazing. Bring it back, please. And then at CHBTMS says, so true. If the government's your savior, you're doing it wrong. I agree. But can I also point out that it's only really one party that looks at the government to be their savior, and it's not the Republican